Regardless of whether you've recently started a ketogenic diet plan or if you've been doing it for quite a while now, you're absolutely going to love this video because today I'm going to reveal the 5 best tips to burn fat and lose weight faster while on a keto plan. If you've already had some experience with this diet, then you already know that in order to burn more fat for fuel, the goal is to reach ketosis, which is a metabolic state in which your body begins to use fat for energy rather than the glucose from carbohydrates for energy. Due to the fact that this diet is designed with a very low carbohydrate intake, you're already setting yourself up for depleting your body of stored glucose. But there are definitely ways that you could do this faster, and there are ways that allow you to burn more body fat on this diet plan. The first way is with a fat fast. Most of you already know that fasting involves a period of not eating followed by a period of time that you're allowed to eat. But there's another way that you could mimic the same effects of fasting just by eating a very low amount of calories throughout the day. It's called fat fasting, and it's a really great method for someone that's just starting out with keto and wants to reach ketosis faster. It's also really great for someone that's recently knocked themselves out of ketosis, maybe with a cheat day or by accidentally eating something that wasn't supposed to really be on their diet plan to begin with. Now, I recommend not doing this for longer than 2 to 4 days because that's all you really need to jumpstart your fat loss, even if you really messed up on a cheat day. With this method, you would have somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, and you could have those calories at any point of the day. Again, there are no fasting and feeding windows. Now, you're not only going to eat a low amount of calories, but you're also going to change your macronutrient split. Normally, on a keto diet, you'll be having roughly 70 to 75% of your diet coming from fat, 5 to 10% of your diet coming from carbs, and about 20 to 25% of your diet coming from protein. However, with a fat fast, you would be having 80 to 90% of all your daily calories coming from fat. Most people would immediately assume that having such a high fat intake would naturally make you fatter, but it actually does the exact opposite. It forces your body to quickly adapt to using fat more efficiently for energy. To hit such a high percentage of fat, you have to be careful not to eat too much protein, and obviously you're avoiding almost all carbs. A couple examples of what you could eat would be things like coconut butter, fat bombs, stuffed avocados, high-fat fish like mackerel, salmon, or sardines with added fat like olive oil, and macadamia nuts. To make this method super simple, some people simply eat a block of cream cheese throughout the day. The reason is because the block of cream cheese is going to be right about 1,000 calories, and it's also going to have over 80% of those calories coming from fat. Now, I don't typically recommend this simply because there are healthier, more nutrient-dense options out there other than just cream cheese all day long. However, I want you to know that many people report that this is a very easy way to have a successful fat fast. It's not very nutritious, but it does seem to get the job done. Again, if you have the ability and the time to cook, I could think of a million better and more nutritious options. Moving on, tip number 2, stay away from exogenous ketone products. These are supplements that suggest that you can get into ketosis faster by ingesting ketones to get your body to start using those ketones for fuel. I'm sure that someone will disagree with me below because these products are really in right now. In fact, I get offers every single week to cross-promote exogenous ketone supplements on my website and on this channel. But the fact remains that all those exogenous ketones are a multi-level marketing scam. These supplement companies claim that just by taking a supplement, you can get into ketosis in 1 hour as opposed to 3 to 7 days. And a big way that they fool everyone is with the keto test strips. These ketone products will trigger the test strips to say that you're in ketosis when you're actually not. Your body is very smart. It has to go through natural hormonal and chemical reactions to enter ketosis. You enter ketosis by taking away carbohydrates or by depleting glycogen stores through methods like low-carb dieting, prolonged exercise, or by fasting. All of these methods involve taking away fuel sources from your body to push your body to start using fat as its primary source of fuel. On the other hand, these supplement companies want us to believe that instead of subtracting, we can just add ketones and our bodies will randomly switch into ketosis even if you haven't spent the time depleting your glycogen stores. In reality, this can slow down rather than speed up the fat burning process on the ketogenic diet. Products like liquid ketones, keto protein powder, and exogenous ketones in general are complete nonsense. And like I said, it's a multi-level marketing scheme. So don't waste your time and your money on these BS supplements. Let's move on to my third tip for speeding up weight loss with keto, and that's through intense exercise or prolonged exercise. Now, prolonged exercise, where you train for a couple hours, can wind up doing more harm than good. So instead, I like to focus on intense exercise, which can provide all the benefits without the drawbacks. Once again, you're going to get into ketosis and begin producing ketones, essentially burning fat as your primary source of fuel only after you've already depleted your glycogen stores. One of the best ways by far to deplete your glycogen stores with your workouts is by lifting heavier weights and in general increasing the intensity of your workouts. As opposed to aerobic workouts like jogging, anaerobic workouts will preferentially use glycogen for fuel. Not only will focusing on anaerobic training help you burn through your glycogen stores, but it's also a way to prevent muscle loss while you burn fat. So this is once again a win-win situation because muscle loss is a very common threat to anyone that's trying to cut. While you're cutting, regardless of whether you're doing the ketogenic diet or some other diet approach, it's going to feel very difficult to match the same weight load that you were using for your exercises before you were trying to lose weight or burn fat with a diet plan. And over a long cut, you're inevitably going to be sure to drop the amount of weight that you use for at least a couple of your exercises. But I need you to do everything you can to fight for every last inch before decreasing the weight load that you're using. What I mean is push yourself to maintain the same weight as long as you can. An example of this would be if you normally bench press 225 for 8 reps, when you start cutting, 225 may feel significantly heavier than what it felt like before. But instead of giving into the urge of immediately dropping the weight that you're using, you want to fight for every last pound. Meaning you might only be able to do 7 reps the first week, and then the following week only 6 reps, and then 2 weeks later you might be down to only 5 reps. But push yourself to stick to that same weight load until your rep range gets really low. Then you can drop down to a new weight. Again, the reason for this is because as a natural, your muscle strength is directly linked to how much muscle you lose during a cut. So if you easily give in every time that you're feeling weak, you're only going to accelerate the process of getting weaker faster while cutting. If you can somehow increase intensity during a cut, that's ideal, but that's something that's really only going to happen to absolute beginners. So at the very least, do everything you can to try to match it. Since we're on the topic of exercise, let me give you the next tip. You can reach ketosis faster, consistently deplete your glycogen stores, and burn more fat by adding cardio after your weight training sessions. Like I already said, by performing an intense weight training session with heavy weight, you'll deplete the majority of your glycogen stores. By doing cardio directly after your weight training workout, you'll be able to deplete even more glycogen stores, and if they are already depleted, you'll switch over to primarily using ketones and fat for energy. If you do cardio, even low intensity steady state cardio before your weight training session, you won't have the energy to work as hard as you can while lifting weights. We've already discussed how that could negatively impact the amount of glycogen that you deplete and how a less intense workout will produce more muscle atrophy throughout a cut. But another thing you should know is that a less productive weight training session can impact Epoc. Epoc stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, which essentially occurs because your body needs energy to repair your muscles after you've challenged them with some heavy weight training. It allows your body to continue burning fat after the workout is over. You can create more Epoc by doing weights first and then finishing off with cardio. This way you get the fat burning benefits of cardio after depleting glycogen stores from the weights, and you still continue burning fat after you're done. Now for the last tip, I know I already spoke about fat fasting, but you can do more of a regular combination of keto with traditional fasting for a very powerful effect. This is by far one of the best ways because when you have periods of not eating throughout the day, not only do you drop insulin to very low levels, allowing you to burn more body fat, but you're also not taking in any carbs. In fact, you're not taking in any calories at all. So from a fat loss perspective, it's a win-win-win. Now, even though you can try a 1 meal a day diet or the warrior diet where you fast for 20 hours at a time, you don't have to go the whole day without eating to experience the extra benefits from fasting, when you combine it with keto. A simple intermittent fasting approach where you have to fast for 16 hours of the day and you have an 8-hour feeding window, just that will help quite a bit. As long as you stick to the ketogenic diet macros and food options during your 8-hour feeding window, you will speed up fat loss. Not only will it help you reduce your overall caloric intake, but it'll also help you enter ketosis and start using ketones for energy faster. Your body will naturally burn fat to produce ketones whenever glucose stores are low or depleted, and there's really 3 major times that your glucose stores are going to be completely depleted. One is by fasting. The second way is when you eat a ketogenic diet, and the third way is after intense or prolonged exercise. By combining the top 2 ways into one diet, you can bet that you're going to accelerate your fat loss. That's it, guys. I really hope this video has helped you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for much more free content, and also, if you're a little confused on how to set up and execute a ketogenic diet that gets you into ketosis and burning fat fast, then check out my 6-week challenge. We include a customized ketogenic diet plan as well as other diet approaches with the program. Not only will you get a done-for-you diet plan, but you'll also get a 42-day workout plan and an accountability coach to push you and guide you through the entire process. Almost all my clients that have taken this challenge have lost an average of 20 pounds or 5% body fat in 6 short weeks. The challenge will give you the ability to learn about many different diet approaches, including, like I said, a done-for-you ketogenic dieting model, so you can ultimately see which diet approach is best for your lifestyle. The best part is that just by sticking to the plan and putting your best foot forward, you can get the entire program for free for a limited time only. To access the challenge, you could click the link below in the description to take you straight there, or you could visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.
Pump it.